Jim and Terry Show, feeling groovy. First thing in the morning, a cup of coffee later. Are we peaking? Or did we peak with the first?
I'm sorry, I just woke up.
You
What?
just woke up. We're going to talk about tariffs and how Canada is positioning itself. This is a chaser to the Slate Auto feature. If you haven't visited Slate Auto, slate.auto, take a look at their website and what it's exciting EV stuff. And we are talking electric vehicles because Canada, under Trudeau and now under Carney, is positioning itself as a hub of global investment in EV at the very time Trump is going to drill, baby, drill, and Danielle Smith in Alberta wants to sell him drill, baby, drill stuff. And we are saying we're in a transformative economy.
Huge plants making batteries.
We're talking about, the figure I saw was 174 billion in EV-related industries, not just the generation.
Hope, like you said, I hope that's continued. And you know what? Going back to this Slate vehicle, this very affordable car. If I was Canada, I'd steal that in a minute, or I would go to them and say, we want to be an independent partner. Independent. Mm-hmm. We're building everything here, and maybe
to support this.
To support this, but we are independent. This is a Canadian car. Mm-hmm. We're going to call it Forge. How's that?
Valley Forge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because if you look at it, if you're taking all of that technology, Canada does have all the materials to make a vehicle.
Yes.
All of them. We're also leading. I didn't know this. We actually led the way in AI.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
We're still.
Yeah.
And we're getting a lot of investment from European powers on AI.
We could make this car. And if not Slate, Forge. Mm-hmm. And literally make it, because we have 3D.
So you just license?
No, you just make another car. If we got all the batteries and everything, what the heck? Make another car. Is anybody up here making an electric motor that's Canadian, that's worthy of putting in a car?
This is battery operated, that Slate.
Yeah.
So there are still alternatives. There's hydrogen as well that's being explored. Did you hear about water combustion?
No.
Fill your tank up from the local watering hole? Literally.
Well, you can see how that works, because they're going to make rocket fuel, for God's sakes, on the moon.
Yes.
From water and dirt.
Yeah.
And they can make a fuel. So we could probably do it here, too.
Okay, so what's going on with the Trump administration going full oil and gas and fracking, while Canada is positioning to launch huge EV stuff, EV networks, EV infrastructure? I'm not sure if that includes charging stations and or roads. Do roads need to be upgraded, or do we just need more EV charging stations on the en route?
There's a lot of EV charging stations I noticed in Florida. Like, for instance, we went to, I don't know if it was Red Lobster, we went to some restaurant, Perkins something, and there was at least 10 charging stations. By the way, every one of them had a car at it. And I'm thinking, smart, because every one of them had a family inside there eating while they're waiting for the car to charge.
Exactly.
So I thought it was smart. I think it's if you played it right, it's smart technology. And if you give incentives, I think it would be great for companies to invest in putting in chargers.
How about chargers at existing fuel stations?
Well, why not? As long as you got the parking lot, because it's going to take time. Like, it's perfect for a restaurant. You're in there for an hour, and your car's charging.
Well, this thing on Slate said 19 minutes.
And the beauty of it, if you played it properly, you could just have it on your dinner bill, too.
Why not?
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
Here's all your food, and here's your charge bill.
While you were eating, your car is fully charged, and here's the proof, and it's now on your bill.
Yeah, it's now on your bill. And
a great idea.
So just with a little bit of thinking and making an incentive, and get one company in on it, like McDonald's. I'm just throwing it out there, where their new outlets are going to have
built-in
20 charging stations, and they're going to get some sort of tax break on putting charging stations in for the first 10 years. And then if one, all of a sudden they can say, yes, we have, our business has been up, 12% since we put charging in.
Yep.
The other companies will all come along. Now, to be really smart, you need that Northland car, that Forge car made in Canada to go with that. And make it so it can go through our harsh winters better than the summer.
There you go.
And then market it to Sweden, Denver,
Denmark,
you
You're talking about Norway, Finland.
northern states, all of Canada,
Sweden,
Russia,
Finland, Norway.
all the countries that have harsh temperatures in the winter.
Russia. You're thinking Russia's economy is going to survive the war in Ukraine? That takes us on.
Oh God, that's a
we have
whole other subject, isn't it?
Well, we could switch off there. We're talking about EVs and Canada's positioning the economy to be a transformative economy, switching from oil and gas, which I have read has a peak in about 2 years and then a decline. It's maybe happening sooner because Saudi Arabia and some of the oil producers, OPEC, are fiddling with prices, which are going to drop things. And
well, we got a problem coming probably because Trump has already been paid off. So he's not going to make decisions that are going to benefit.
You're talking about real payoffs, or you're talking about Qatari jet payoffs?
Qatari jet payoffs, but don't forget Kishner came out of there with $2 billion for an investment company that hadn't proven anything. He just got $2 billion.
I found it interesting to see that Trump went to Saudi Arabia and was visiting with MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, who's the
murderer,
the murderer and dismemberment, and Khashoggi from Washington Post disappeared, and they haven't found any parts of him.
Yeah,
but we're going to meet and do a sword dance and ride camels.
Well, Qatar, they just gave a gift to Trump, and they finance Hamas.
Yes,
they also help Iran. And isn't it funny now? Trump's saying, maybe we'll cut them some slack on the nuclear thing.
Oh,
and
boy.
This is when, and now you've got Israel saying, maybe we'll just blow up their nuclear plants.
Yes.
Which has been done before.
Yes. So we have some foreign relations issues with Trump's recent Middle Eastern tour.
Well, because Trump broke the rule that no leader, no president can accept, no member of parliament, of government, is allowed to accept any gifts.
We have an example of, I'm thinking he was from New York. He's in prison serving 11 years for taking gold bars and a car. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He was prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Where's Trump's prosecution for doing a jet, $400 million?
Nobody gives you $400 million jet and doesn't want something back.
Well, he did say in his meeting with the South African president,
it was a disaster.
We'll talk about that maybe in a minute. But he did say that there's always room to accept another jet. Because the president said, "I'm sorry, Mr. President," talking to Trump, "that we don't have a jet to give you." Well, if you did, I would take it.
Well, he would.
Yeah, of course he would.
Absolutely. He's taken all the bribes from the Arab nations. Mm-hmm. So he's done that. He's been bribed. He's been bought.
Yeah.
And my American cousins, please, don't be so stupid to think he hasn't been. You've been sold out already. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You have been already sold out by your president. And I'll tell you another reason why you've been sold out by your president. Because the money's got to come somewhere to give the oligarchs more money. That money, it's as simple as ABC. They're going to charge you 10%, 20%, 40% tariffs on everything you buy. So they're taking your money, putting it into the government holding. And remember, your president thinks all that money is his. All of it, every bit of it is his. So they're stealing from the poorest people, and they're giving it to the wealthiest.
The Walmart
and as
shoppers.
A nation, I have to warn our brothers. I'm sorry, but as a nation, I have to warn my brothers. You're the richest nation in the world, and you're greedy for more. So greedy for more, you're starving the people in Africa. You're starving them so that you could be richer. And you're hurting your own bottom level farmers so that you can be richer. A nation like America,
sound like Jim's on a
greedy
rant
for more,
here.
just greedy for more.
We'll get to the rest of that in another podcast. Jim and Terry Show signing out.